Welcome back to From Facts to Tea, a podcast that can do both.
Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of From Facts to Tea podcast. You probably already know us, so let's get right into it. You probably definitely did not see an ad before this video because we're not monetized yet. But if you were binging YouTube videos or just waiting for the match to resume between halftime, chances are you came across some, if not a series of adverts. And today, the level to which businesses, charities, or literally any entity markets and broadcasts to stay ahead in the game is something else.
Hey guys, as Tavishi stated, there's ads and they're pretty abundant everywhere in the virtual world right now. They're on TV, they're on the internet, on YouTube, and social media. Now, let's talk about something in specific, just for me to be able to convey my point through. So on YouTube, since I don't have YouTube Premium, every time I click on a video about no child should die of hunger, that sort of campaign, and honestly, every single time I'm watching a video or I'm with a friend or I'm with someone and we're watching a video together, it's very impactful, but in the worst way possible. Because, for example, nowadays we have trigger warnings in, for example, TikTok or Instagram Reels, or sharing stories to spread awareness about something. But something like this that has this kind of substance could trigger a lot of people, and I don't think that it's a very efficient way to try to have people donate to UNICEF, even though it is a very trusted organization. But it's just not ethical. I don't feel like it's ethical to give something like that out for the world to see without any sort of warning. It's something that we need to have even in like charitable organization advertisements, because no matter how much you need to market something, you need to respect the consumers as well. And in general, there's a really big problem that the ad industry is facing, and I feel like it's a pretty big of a given factor, and that is people hate ads. We absolutely despise them. We want to press the skip ad button. We want to press the not interested in this ad button wherever we are on the internet or on any application, because since our attention span is shortening with time, we don't want to see ads. We don't want to sort of even look into what the advert is trying to convey. So I feel like that's a really big setback for marketing and for broadcasting and for like business expansion in general.
Do you even remember when was the last time you watched a charity advert the whole way through and then donated? Or was it the last night before or after the IPL or the news? No, me neither. So in a world so saturated with adverts, we often switch off at the best of times. Never mind when we are being asked to eradicate poverty in the whole of, Southern Hemisphere for just €3 a month. And these adverts are from charities who are doing incredible work. But are they the most effective way to grab our attention? So we know that organizations need to raise funds for their work, but when it comes to such advertising and campaign imagery, they're often acting detrimentally to their long-term goals. Because say you have something that needs to promote child rights or child activism, showing the picture of a child engaged in child labor is not the best way out of it, and it's not the best marketing strategy that a charity or a non-profit could undertake, right? And along with that, when we start to think or retrospect that we are so substantially different from other people, it becomes way too easier for us to accept that people are suffering. Because at the end, we have a mindset, we have a thought process, and all we need is to delve in deeper into that. And we believe that these images that are shown in advertising and fundraising campaigns create apathy rather than action. Because let's take an example of Instagram accounts, or maybe accounts on social media that promotes fundraisers through memes, right? Now this is not showing any type of graphic images. All it's doing is promoting a message through something that is more engaging, through something that is more prominent to the public at hand. Because as we know, all the algorithms on social media sites, everything being humorous, creative, or both, without oversimplifying the issues and also showing the structural reasons behind these issues, is the way forward. And I feel like humor is universal at the end, and humor has done a lot of different things. So I think humor can allow people to tell their own stories instead of promoting something that they should not in the first place.
Now, in the topic of advertising, many of you all, if you know me, may know that there is this one specific brand that deeply aggravates me, especially with its advertising. And that brand is Glow and Lovely. So this brand, it's under the Unilever Corporation, and it makes over $400 million of revenue a year, this whitening cream. And it obliterates the standards of beauty in a country, especially our country, India, where a woman's natural complexion could decide her worth. It could decide her future. If she's fair, she is lovely, because that was the name for the longest time. Now, why is this highly unethical, toxic brand not being put to halt? Like, why are we continuing to buy it? Especially in the ads where they're like, oh no, I'm so dark, no one would ever accept me.
इसके एडवांस्ड मल्टीविटामिन्स लेजर लाइट की तरह स्किन के अंदर जाके डार्क स्किन सेल्स को रोशन करे और दे ग्लोइंग निखार।
अब से सिर्फ लेजर लाइट ट्रीटमेंट जैसा।
And then they just go ahead and say, don't worry, we have Fair and Lovely. Don't worry, we have Fair and Handsome. Now, I get that it's renamed to Glow and Lovely, but the actual problem is the product, because it is entirely flawed. So advertising will not do it any justice, no matter what it is, no matter what they do. I don't know why we're still putting up with it, and I really think it needs to be shut down, honestly.
So now that we talked about being meaningful, let's talk about the Met Gala. So typically the politics of fashion is a subtle business with color or cut used to convey a message, and this brings me back to my favorite look, which was Alexandria Cortez's Tax the Rich reveal. And this was the first Met Gala, and I think this was a great start to it. The gown, I think, was white with a tuxedo detailing more typically seen in menswear. But when she turned around, the message was loud and clear. Tax the rich, printed in bold, entire back bodice. And I think she looked really confident, she looked elegant, and I think this did justice to her words, economic justice. And I think she looked great on the red carpet. She looked wonderful wearing that entire outfit, I think, because it conveyed a very strong message. And in an occasion with so many people, I think such a message is something that a lot of people would not want to bring to the table, but I think she still wore it so well. And yeah, I think that was my favorite. What was yours?
Honestly, this year's Met Gala looks were pretty revolutionary. Some of them were absolutely stunning, some of them were pretty underwhelming, but that's okay. So my favorite look was probably Cara Delevingne's, who dressed in Dior. She was wearing this all-white bulletproof vest, which said "Peg the patriarchy" in the middle. And as we can tell, it's female empowerment, and it's really bold, just like Alexandria's. They're actually pretty similar in intention, if that makes sense. So that's something that I really liked. And her makeup, it wasn't too bold so as to accentuate the attention on the actual message of the outfit. So I don't know, it just really spoke to me. I really liked it. So now that we have our favorites aside, let's talk some of the biggest, most talked about looks in this Met Gala. So first of all, we had Kim Kardashian. The Kim Kardashian. Tabshi, what do you think?
So, what do I even say about her? There were news highlights saying that Kim Kardashian looks like an insect, and the fact that it was a faceless look reminds me of one of my chapters, too cliche, but a face in the dark. But yeah, so I think she also mentioned somewhere that she could not see and she had done makeup despite the entire veil, I'll say. But I think her all black masked look did not really appeal to me as much as memes could portray. But I think when it comes to Kendall Jenner, or I think Gigi Hadid, I think they pulled it off really well. But yeah, what do you think about Kim Kardashian though?
So Kim Kardashian came to the Met Gala in a Balenciaga sock, right? And I think it did give a message because she is sort of, reputed for her figure and how she appears from, head to toe. Her and her family, they always have like close eyes on them, and I think that this it was a really bold statement. No one saw it coming, but at the end of the day, she was wearing a literal tube, and I don't know. She could have been bold in other ways. However, I don't think she regretted it, so I'm pretty happy for her. Kendall Jenner looked absolutely flawless. It was a bit of a surprise that Kylie wasn't able to make it because, it's Kylie Jenner, but that's alright. Now, what other looks do we have that were absolutely, necessary to be talked about, Tabashi?
Yeah, so who forgets to talk about Rihanna? At other events, all that's required is a pretty dress, but you do not climb the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art unless you're bringing the drama. And I think Rihanna understands the whole reason behind this drama. So I think each of the 7 appearances at the event has been memorable, and I think she has been responsible for some of the most iconic ensembles ever to grace the Costume Institute fundraiser. But I feel like this Met Gala, she could have done better. I mean, it looked more like a blanket than a Balenciaga overcoat. But anyway, either way, I think the look was cool, all American style. And the fact that she added on jewelry with a message, and she had a rebel black ring, I think, which was featured in the Sotheby's. And along with that, I think she was wearing really expensive jewelry, including a necklace with 9 cut diamonds and bracelets and platinum and diamond earring. And I mean, it was an expensive outfit overall, but I would really like to know what you think about it.
Right, Rihanna, Riri, the one and only. I mean, girl really said umbrella. So, talking about her jewelry, she was wearing something that was, like insanely expensive. I think it was, let me look it up. 267 carats of Bulgari jewelry. Oh my god. And there she was posing with A$AP Rocky, who himself, he looks like a babushka doll, bro. Like, are they complimenting their songs at this point? Okay, honestly, in all seriousness though, she looked absolutely stunning. He also looks festive. But yeah, this was a really big look in the Met Gala, I would say. Along with several others, like Billie, we had Camila, we had the host Emma Chamberlain, who was also looking absolutely gorgeous. And also, did you see how Timothy Chalamet was like sort of dressed in all white? Honestly, he reminded me of like a fencing, like a fencer, you know, like that sport of fencing. Yeah, that's what he reminded me of.
Yeah, and like I have this friend who was like, she was rating every Met Gala look. So she was like, Timothy Chalamet, waiter, Rihanna, blanket, and whatnot. But yeah, I think along with this had a lot of great looks as well. I think you already talked about a few, and along with that, there were a lot of people who really graced their occasion with the presence, and this was a successful event, I think, amidst the pandemic and everything. And I think when people got in, they did wear masks and everything, so I think guidelines were followed. Of course, I do not know what happened inside, but I think, yeah, that's still mysterious to us.
As this year's Met Gala theme was labeled American Independence, I feel like many artists and personalities really delivered with this look, especially with some people who really embraced American culture and American fashion, and I think that was pretty cool. And they raised quite a bit of money for the Metropolitan Museum, and like the whole idea, it's celebrating designers that have made the outfits come to life for these celebrities respectively. And it's about culture and celebrating how far the country's come and these social events, especially in the past 2 years with COVID. And yeah, I think it was pretty cool to see all these people turn. And yeah, that's pretty much the Met Gala for you. Just a side note that I'm recording separately, but maybe the next Met Gala they should invite someone like, I don't know, Tavish and me, considering some of the very unexpected guests on the invitation list, which, I don't know, some of us might arguably find completely undeserving.